I'm not really sure where to quite put all this stuff, but I'm assuming it's probably gonna end up being over here until it sells. But I gotta bring the car into the garage, and then after that, we're gonna get to work. It's two big things. One thing will not be out, so we're really just taking out one for now, and it's the same exact process. So this upgrade consists of 4 T50 screws. So guys, basically everything to this car has been done except for turbos and low pressure fuel pump and obviously flex fuel systems, port if you really want to go that route. And it's nothing about power. It's obviously nothing about anything. The only 4 T50 screws in this car are for the seats. Ladies and gentlemen, I am changing out the factory M Sport seats in Veneto beige to black M seats. Well, these are actually M4 seats, but it'll still do the trick. One of the things that I really wanted to do was keep not only the heated seats, but also the power seats. I know I'm trying to go for a race car vibe, but to do Recaro, to do Brom, to do any of those things, I was honestly just like, it's not worth spending so much money on the seats to do that in a 435i. It's just better to get like the M Sport seats. I will be keeping all the door cards, so all that will actually be repaired eventually, but I will be keeping the door cards the same because unless I get a really good deal on some F80 ones, but other than that, guys, let's just go ahead and get these things out. So the great part is that you should always, when doing this especially, you can at least get the first 2 that are here in the front, and then never unplug the seat until you've gotten all the bolts removed. That's like the little secret here. It's actually kind of crazy that there's only just these bolts that are holding it. Better get it just by this. Now, to obviously avoid any airbags going off, it is best to disconnect the battery. However, when you disconnect the battery, that means all power is lost to the car, which means essentially, how are you going to actually remove the bolts when you have to move the seats? The seatbelt is just another T50 screw just in there. So now that we got that going, sweet. Yep, here we go. Just try not to scratch anything. Oh, I forgot, still got the wire here. Okay. The wire. It should be just a little push in and then out. Yep, push in, push out, unplug. Bam. That's the wire. Now the seat will fully come out. So I don't have the seat in right now. I know most people that have race cars normally start it up without it. I know I'm gonna get an airbag sign probably. I'm just a little scared that something's gonna go off. And thankfully, nothing actually went off, but there was a significant engine light. So as of right now, I'm actually headed to get another piece for the car. I know that the angle is real bad right now, but this part is actually one that I'm very excited for because it's going to transform the interior a lot more. Tomorrow is even something better because it's one of those things where I'm getting such a great deal and I just can't pass it up, but I have to drive like 2.5 to 3 hours away for, so. This one's a small little thing. When you guys see this, you'll understand. And then it'll actually match a lot more of the interior than what you think. Guys, if you couldn't tell, I'm actually getting this from Marketplace. So the bad part is, this is where we're meeting. Not the end of the world. There's businesses all around. There's Jiffy Lube and all that stuff. Not a bad thing. But I'm also not in a bad area, so I'm not like sketched out. Why is it that I'm always the one here first? This man has an F80 manual. Also, I got it. This thing, immaculate condition. So now that I got a new center console armrest, it was time to make the incredible journey to Cincinnati to get the new seats. Well, it's starting to rain now. I got just under an hour left of a drive. The drive has not been bad at all, actually. I mean, it's the Midwest. There's like nothing for many miles, and it's basically like I'm in Colorado again, where it's just like you can just drive and see damn near nothing. At least this one's, you got like solar farms, you got cow farms, you got all these different things. You got big bad storms too, because we're in the Midwest. And I know this video is with the seats and all, but my my CarPlay stopped working. Well, somewhat. That works, like the maps. Not the biggest deal in the world because I still got my phone, still like 70% battery. It's only a 2-hour drive. But the music just stopped working. It really will not connect. But mark my words, guys, I put a lot of money into this 435i. I'm very proud of what I've done. But one day I will own, very soon, an F8X chassis. Whether it be the M3 or I commit to the coupe of the M4. It will be in my garage. It will be in my driveway. Whatever it may be, it will be in my possession. Dude, a holy freaking rainstorm. Like, it just freaking poured on us. My stock is completely soaked right now. I do have the seats, which is absolutely amazing. These things look incredible. Even if they don't work in this car, you know what? Screw it. Because I got a really, really awesome deal on these things. I mean, the M4 that I looked at, the seats weren't even in this good of shape. Like, this really complements the car so damn well. Again, if they don't work, it's not the end of the world. So I'm really glad that I didn't leave the bolts at home, because right now I am grabbing the one that has the whole constructed mechanism, because every time I either go forward or stop, this thing is moving. So I think when I get to a safe spots, I'm gonna bolt this in real quick if I can, even if it's like one on each corner. It's actually crazy though. I gotta talk about this too. The kid that I bought this from, he was starting a detailing business and did $10,000 in marketing. He's 18. You know, I make these TikToks, right? And I'm like, oh, these 18-year-olds can't afford, like, he actually sold it because the thing was just too expensive. And this is what I keep trying to say. It's like, these cars are not cheap to maintain, not cheap to drive. Like, whether it be an N55, B58, especially if it's a newer B58, like Gen 2, Gen 3, especially if you do, like, obviously an S55 or S58, like, they're not cheap. And it's like, it's always best at that age to just invest in your future. I'm 25. I mean, I still need to do the same thing, but this is my future. It's car stuff. It's the tuning and whatever. So yeah, right now this is what it looks like. Yeah, it kind of sucks. It's just only 20 minutes worth. It's not bad, or hopefully not 2 hours. And after driving 2.5 hours to go get these new seats, I immediately got home and started working on the car. The only problem was I didn't know how to avoid hitting the steering wheel, and then I ended up actually scratching my carbon fiber door handle. My door does not go any farther. Crazy. There we go. Okay. And I scratched the out of my... Oh, that sucks. Yep. I scratched the crap out of my handle there. Well, all I can say is there's never a BMW upgrade that goes smoothly. That freaking sucks. So just when I thought things couldn't be... Well, they just seemed too good to be true, right? I was right. So this middle part is actually completely broken. This is like JB welded into place. And it's actually, it was broken. So maybe I do have to replace that middle part, which is gonna suck because I don't think you really can. Now you actually can, because they're just put in via little tiny plastic push pins. And also to do this in a space where you got room to work. But I'm at least glad I had these. I'm just really pissed off that you take your time with stuff and you still f it up. I guess it's time to just see if these fit. And if they don't, I'm gonna be quite pissed. Everything is so much easier when you got a fucking door off. How many people fit these things in here? Oh, maybe like that. Maybe. If I'm right. Let's hope I don't scratch the carbon fiber again. Yeah, I probably should have just grabbed that one leg while I was coming out. I just hit my finger instead. Something just popped in my shoulder. Oh, it's burning. Ooh, that hurts. Okay. I kind of want to just sit in there just to see how it feels. Oh my god, that is astronomically better than the F82 ones. They hug you, and it's like you're actually in a cloud. Wow, that is... Holy shit, that's astronomically so much better. Now, honestly, for the seats, anything that's safety measures in a car, I would definitely make sure you actually torque it to the specs that are recommended. So, this one's 35 foot-pounds of torque. I would do that so that way you're playing it safe. Just in case, God forbid, you were to get in a crash, everything stays where it should be. So luckily the driver's side had the rail completed. Now, I didn't have to do anything to it, even if the middle part was indeed broken. The passenger side, however, the rail was completely torn apart. There was no screws, and it actually looked very rusted, as you can see here. It has been in a bag in a storage unit for God knows how long. So I wasn't even going to attempt to put these back on, or even try and use them. So what you're gonna end up seeing me do is take the OEM rails from the M Sport seats and actually reinstalling them into the new M seats. But first, let me show you exactly how I'm going to reinstall the seat belts. It's always one of those where you run out of light, you have no other light except for this, and this is what we're gonna do. This seat belt here, you're gonna have to get sandwiched in between like this. I'm not going to bend this part, but I am going to bend this little part here. And this is supposed to be an easy install. An easy install, quote unquote easy. Anytime it's a BMW, it's never easy. You got to take out this screw because this is not going to be long enough to be going between the rails and everything else. So, and I try to film this the best way possible, but as long as you get that little nipple that is an extension of the seatbelt bolt, flatten that out with the hammer, and then sandwich it between the rail and the chassis floorboard. Screw that in with the original T40 bolt, and I promise you it works perfectly fine. Now it's basically 1 AM at this point, and I really wanted to get this done because one of these things is annoying parts and pieces or annoying upgrades. Now I'm really looking forward to it too, and I'm impatient. And I forgot to realize that I had to transfer this entire rail system over to the new F82 seats. We have new seats. We have the passenger side, that's the new one, the driver's side, and then the passenger side of the old one. But notice one thing here. See how there's a big bracket right there? See how there's a small bracket, small module? So if you're going to do this, the M seats come with the big one no matter what. So you have to go from the driver's side and get that guy to put on over here. At least that's what I had thought. Now, what you will see later on in the video is that the passenger seat actually doesn't work, but I don't know the reason why. At this point in time, I'm realizing that the driver's side M Sport seat has the exact same connections as both of the M seats, which is not always a good thing because that means either you're going to need coating or it's just simply not going to work. So the passenger side M seat is the one on the very far right. What I'm messing with now is the driver's side M Sport seat. So wiring and organizing the cables on the seat was actually the easiest part because now I have to derail the passenger side rail system and put it on the passenger side M seat. However, it's going to have the driver's side control module but with the passenger side motors, which that could be a conflicting thing, which I might just need coating for, or it's just not simply going to work. But in order to take off the rail system, you do need a 19mm socket as well as a 13mm socket. And these are essentially the hardest bolts to ever get off, but there's only 2 of each. Yeah, I snapped it. I did indeed snap it. So both seats are in now. Screws are torqued down, seatbelt's in. It looks fantastic. Someday either I might get the light up ones or I'm just going to get new ones so that way they look better. And then also probably the carbon fiber covers that are here. But look at this. It's all plugged in and nothing. All of this stuff down here, I know it's super hard to tell, but it's locked in there. The driver's side was super easy. It was the same computer. Literally nothing changed of it. So watch this, ready? Oh, super simple, right? And it works. So the driver's side has the driver's side cable from the car, as well as all the stuff from the driver's side chair. But the passenger side, and this is where BMW just becomes super finicky about everything, passenger side has the driver's side control module there, but has the passenger side rail system. It truly is a coding issue, or B, it's pin placement, and I'm hoping it's the coding issue. Okay, last thing is the armrest for the center console. This thing is going to match perfectly. I'm very excited. Pop this out, just use a trim tool. Literally, if you don't use it, you're probably gonna end up scratching something. But then this is the spring, the heavy loaded spring. This guy you're gonna have probably trouble pushing in afterwards, but you gotta get it from the middle. That way you're releasing all this tension. Oh yeah, and then there's little pins you gotta take out. Oh shoot. Best way to get the pins in, the pins out, just get a needle nose plier, that's it. And then the process to actually get this spring back in, make sure this thing is completely vertical. Because what it does is it pushes the spring back enough already that it loses most of its tension, and then just put the needle nose plier and then just kind of push it in from underneath. But wow, guys, this transformation is insane. And I can tell you my back feels a lot better too. Now I keep saying a lot about me wanting an M4 or an M3 or some sort of F8X chassis, but truthfully the N55, the whole F3X platform is truly legendary. To be honest with you, the M4 and the M3 wouldn't exist without them.